to St Mary's. We are down on the south coast for this 12:30 Saturday lunchtime start. Thank you, everybody. And that means that the first word of the afternoon must go to the travelling fans who have made it down here, as ever, in huge numbers, filled every seat behind the goal to our right. And they've had to contend with the very early kick-off time, the length of the journey, and the rail strike that's taking place in the UK across today, nationwide rail strike, which means that the roads are the only option. And that is often a very tricky option, particularly at the weekend, heading towards Southampton, where there are two huge cruise liners in port as well, so the place is full. But despite all of that, the Leeds fans are here. They're noisy, they're in good number, and I guess they've travelled optimistically because they've liked what they've seen in the last few weeks. And Leeds will hope to build on that, maintain that, and do something positive here against Southampton this afternoon. Southampton not in great form at the moment. Leeds United are unchanged for this one, same starting 11 from the win against Watford last week. And you have to look at the bench and say how strong that looks as well, with the addition now of a fit again Patrick Bamford, Joe Rodon back from suspension. So starting 11 and those amongst the replacements, it looks like a strong group, and let's hope that Leeds prove that out on the pitch this afternoon. The weather, it's cooled off a little. It's quite warm this morning, but it's cooled. It's overcast, and it's slightly more late September, very late September, than it was sort of 9 or 10 o'clock this morning. Still not quite cold enough to induce Tony Dorigo to put on his new Leeds United coat, but I think that will happen.
I think you're absolutely right. I can feel this chill wind in the air, and any minute now it is going on. But I tell you what's going to keep me warm is watching our boys out there. The toss has gone up and they're actually swapping ends. So we're going to be kicking towards our own fans in the first half. But yeah, we're in good form, aren't we, Bryn? Must admit, there's a lot of confidence around the place, but you've just got to be careful. Southampton, if there's ever a game to turn your season around, it will be this one for the home side. So we've got to be aware of that. We know what happened last season, of course. 2-0 up and cruising, and they pegged us back to 2-2. So no complacency, get out there and perform.
I'm really intrigued by the change of ends. I'm trying to work out, I mean, you never really see it, do you? But I'm trying to work out why and who would have changed ends. So Leeds, just to explain, Leeds are kicking towards the supporters, the travelling supporters away to our right. And most of the Southampton fans, well, not most of them, but a large number of them are gathered behind the goal to our left. But I don't know, maybe there's a wind, a breeze, whatever.
I think whatever this way the home side wants to go, just do the opposite. Just get them upset any old how. We've started from the kickoff. Come on.
And we're underway. And it's Southampton who start the game with a long ball forward from goalkeeper Bazunu, defended on the edge of the penalty area by Pascal Struijk. And then it's nodded back into the centre circle as the ball is flicked forward. Leeds United are in the change strip, the peacock kit. Nice looking kit it is as well. Southampton are in red and white. They've gone back, they've gone retro, have Southampton. Those of you who remember back in what would have been the early 90s probably, the Hummel kit they had then with the sort of stripe and halved shirts. Well, that's what they're wearing again. And Struijk, under a little bit of pressure, has to smuggle the ball back to Meslier quickly, and Meslier wastes no time in delivering over the halfway line and over the head of Jorginho. Ball goes straight up in the air, high up in the air, drops down in Leeds territory, and the referee has called an offside, so Leeds will have a free kick.
Yes, there's no doubt that he was offside, coming back from an offside position, but you see there, when we do try and play out from the back, Southampton with that high press, exactly what we're going to be doing to them when they get the ball at the back.
Just happened again. Leeds got it back to Meslier. Pirot in the centre circle wins it back off Smallbone and plays an inviting ball just ahead of Jorginho, slightly too far ahead of Jorginho, unfortunately, otherwise it would have put him through.
It really would have done. Harwood Bellis was over that right-hand side. Jorginho's got in between them.
Southampton break down the right-hand side into the Leeds half. Play a ball. It's broken the offside trap. Armstrong's in the penalty area. Chips it into the back of the net. And Southampton have the perfect start here. Leeds United were waiting for an offside flag that didn't come. and the ball was lifted over Meslier and it dropped into the back of the net, and Southampton are in front. Southampton 1, Leeds United 0.
Well, I must admit, an excellent finish from Armstrong, but very disappointing from our point of view. I said at the time not to take this team lightly. Giving him a start like this, well, that will certainly lift them. I, like everyone else, I think was waiting for the offside, but timing of the run, looking at the replay now, the space was there. It is very close, but he's onside. I think it's Sam Byram just playing him onside. The chip into that far bottom corner does look superb. And that's what happens when the fullback is just half a yard behind the centre halves. I'm sure Pascal and Liam Cooper thought he was offside from the pictures. I don't think he was, and we're 1-0 down.
Marginal call. If we were Premier League, they'd be still viewing that one, I'm sure, VAR, but Leeds do not have that luxury in the Championship, and Southampton have just the start they were requiring here, because they come into this one 4 straight defeats, 12 goals conceded, and home fans far from happy. Now Leeds have got to come back, and they're trying to do that now. Kamara from the edge of the penalty area for Leeds United. Still has the ball, plays it back to Somerville. Somerville, as the sun comes out, is bundled to the ground, gets back up, play is allowed to continue. No foul given. Now it is, because Somerville has followed through on the full back, and so it is Southampton ultimately who end up with the set piece from inside their own half.
Well, that was just really a coming together. I'm not sure why, but Somerville already showing great technique and balance there, but gets pushed to the ground, doesn't win a free kick, but carries on. We need to reply quickly, just get back into our stride.
Yeah, Leeds, having been so hard to score against in the last few games, concede inside 3 minutes here against the side who were out of form.
Meslier has just slipped over for no reason whatsoever. The ball was going to Shackleton, and bad ball
given away to Armstrong, just outside the penalty box, into the penalty area, cuts it back into the middle. Good block made, very good, important block made by Byram, because the shot was about to come in from the penalty spot then, and Byram made the block to prevent that happening. And Leeds again, Southampton find big gaps. It's clearly Boyd. I mean, I said it in the build-up to the game. It's a Southampton squad that still shows a number of players who are performing for them in the Premier League. Had a terrible season last season, of course, but there's been investment in this squad. There are good players in this squad, you feel, and they've shown that and reminded Leeds of that inside 5 minutes.
Yes, and kind of like us, it's a work in progress. I think it's -7 goal difference. Sounds like they're having a bad season, but 10 points. They still win this one. They're up with us in 13, so decent side, and we've got to be better.
Got to defend here. Cooper with the first touch and Strout with the second, just outside the penalty area. Out to this near side to James, who's bundled over, and Leeds have a free kick in their own half. Dan James picks himself up, and the ball is retrieved and will eventually be returned to the position for the free kick.
It's the first time Dan James has been on the ball. We've seen already Somerville on that left-hand side. Here, Dan James on the right. Really hasn't been involved apart from defensively.
Strouk out to Shackleton on this near side. Shackleton and Jorginho has strayed offside, and the flag is raised. And Bazunu comes out of the penalty area to retrieve the ball, and then a ball boy, as it is, on the near side pushes it, rolls one onto the pitch anyway. So Southampton take the free kick backwards. It goes to Bednarek. Back to Bazunu. And then he pushes it out to the edge of the penalty area. And Southampton begin to move up towards the halfway line with Harwood Bellis, who cuts back then and gives back to Bazunu when he's closed down. Out it comes to the familiar figure of Bednarek. Into the centre circle, where it's won back well by Pascal Strouk. It's Alcaraz, now Pirot. Joel Pirot's touch is too heavy, and he loses possession. And Southampton with Stuart Armstrong back in the starting 11. Experienced professional, has the ball and knocks it back into Harwood Bellis. Sun is out again here at St Mary's. Smallbone, pushed back by Ampadu. Alcaraz in the centre circle, goes back to Bednarek. Southampton just keeping the ball away from the Leeds players at the moment. It's the Leeds fans you can hear, despite that very early setback. Huge noise emanating from the away supporters to our right. This ball's gone over the head of Shackleton. He's got to recover, and he's lost out in the running race on this near side. And the ball is cut back into the path of Manning, and then Alcaraz back into Flynn Downs. And Downs gets the ball back again. Flynn Downs with the pass out towards this near side touchline, where James gets in for Leeds, and then Jorginho goes down. No free kick given. Southampton drive forward with Downs in possession into the penalty area for the cutback from the byline. Shackleton gets across to cut the cross from Suleimana out, and it goes behind for a Southampton corner.
Well, Suleimana and Shackleton, that's going to be an interesting contest, isn't it, today? But just there when the ball gets played up to Jorginho, you know, we saw all the tricks, didn't we, last week at the right time. Here, what we need now is him to hold it, keep hold of it, and bring others into play. There, he just lost the ball, unfortunately, gave it away on the back foot again.
So Southampton with the first corner of the game, having scored the first goal of the game. We're in the 9th minute here. Home team already in front. As the corner is swung in, heads go up in the middle. Strout makes it and clears it. And it comes out to Suleimana. Pitch not looking the best. We had a look at it close up before the game. It's somewhat patchy. Southampton moving the ball around well enough on it at the moment as they play the cross deep into the penalty area. Byram's underneath it, gets his angles a little wrong there, I think, Sam Byram, and it goes behind for another Southampton corner kick.
Yeah, we've just got to keep it tight, keep it strong, concentrate. Just the previous corner kick, fantastic header from Pascal Strout to clear the danger, but we're certainly not comfortable at the moment. Not got our game going any sort of fluency going forward, so we have to defend.
Another in-swinging corner likely here. In towards Meslier. Goes up, drops it, and then it's hooked over his shoulder by Smallbone, but he can't keep the ball down. And there's no great danger for Leeds ultimately. Meslier was in the middle of a crowd of players there.
But it really did look like he should have comfortably caught that one instead. Made a bit of a mess of it. He's certainly coming over players, but I think the Southampton player just jumped into him slightly, but that's probably from a push from Ampadu.
Leeds playing out again, under pressure though. Ampadu spins it forward, but can't find James, and when it goes in to the penalty area, there are two Southampton players standing in offside position, so neither makes any attempt to get to the ball, and it goes all the way through to Meslier.
It's crazy that this looks like the reverse of the start I thought would happen with this game, in that we are keeping it at the back and living a little dangerously there with the high press, getting a little bit of joy.
Cooper keeps it away from Alcaraz, gets the ball back on the far touchline, but has to come back into Meslier in the penalty area. He's quickly closed down by Armstrong, and Cooper at a stretch just about finds it. Well, he actually wins Leeds United a throw-in. Byram came across to try and get there. Smallbones was the final touch. But yeah, Southampton are giving the Leeds defenders quite a lot to think about here. Very high press. Over on that far side, Jorginho can't make his way through a couple of red and white shirts, and then Cooper just hooks it into touch over on that far side. And that will be a Southampton throw-in. You can hear possibly that there's a bit of a breeze blowing at times across the pitch. Southampton playing the ball across the pitch up to the halfway line now, over it on this near side. Bednarek across the other side of the centre circle. Harwood Bayliss given away. Leeds have it. This is Somerville on the charge for Leeds down the far side. Goes down under a late challenge, and that could be the first card. Yeah. It is the first card. Armstrong is the man. That's the goal scorer, Armstrong. Adam Armstrong, that is. They have two in the starting 11. He's yellow carded.
Well, the striker was chasing back well, but once Somerville just presses the accelerator, off he goes, and the challenge was made just at the wrong time for the Southampton man. Brings down Crescencio. So now Somerville's over the ball himself and trying to whip this free kick in towards goal.
Leeds players lined up just outside the Southampton penalty area. Somerville lifts it in. He goes actually right out wide. In fact, he goes completely wrong there, and Liam Cooper has some words of admonishment for Somerville for the delivery.
Well, Somerville normally, he whips in the corner kicks and free kicks. This one, he tried to drive it in, and just awful. Got the certainly direction all wrong. It missed absolutely everyone.
And went out for a throw-in, which Southampton take and get the game going again with Walker Peters, the provider of the pass for the opening goal. One of those players, you know, who we've seen before, scored against Leeds last season. Talented Premier League footballer, finding himself operating in the Championship. Ball's played into the middle for Leeds to have to defend. Cooper with a little shrug of the shoulder at the ball there, which just about managed to get the ball off the top of the arm. You heard the handball shouts from the Southampton fans, and it dropped into the hands of Meslier.
Wow, that didn't look great, I have to say, and it's one of those things that, okay, it might have just hit the shoulder and been okay, but it's a chance you don't want to take. It's one of those where the referee might take a different view, but in the end, correct decision, but chancy.
We have audio and visual viewers, I think, today, and the camera gantry is opposite side to where we're watching the game from, so lefts and rights are all different. Alcaraz for Southampton.
It's not just because I'm from down under, is that what you're saying?
Not just that.
Okay. Good challenge there. Yeah, good challenge from Shackleton.
Makes the block.
He's been busy, hasn't he, on this right-hand side, and Suleimana certainly is dangerous. Armstrong's running into those channels as well. Manning offering good support.
Suleimana, one of those brought back into the Southampton starting 11 with the 4 changes made for this game today. Shackleton, comfortable cushion header back to Meslier. Rolls it out for Liam Cooper. And we are into the first quarter of an hour of this game. Leeds have already conceded and not really made anything happen at the other end yet.
No, because we can't get it through the thirds. We can't get Ampadu or Kamara on the ball. We managed to get the fullbacks, but they just can't find anyone in a free position, so it goes backwards, and now we're just hoofing it long.
There's a good example of it there, wasn't there, where when it came forward, Shackleton looked up, couldn't see anything, went back to Strauch, and Strauch had to go back to Meslier. Leeds United have a throw-in, though, midway inside the Southampton half, which Shackleton has gone to take. Throws it into Pirot. Gets the lucky bounce back. Now Jorginho. Jorginho rolls it under his foot. Looking for the cross, maybe, Jorginho. On his left foot. Maybe the shot. Curls it in! Mizuno has to make a save at full stretch. Terrific effort from Jorginho. The keeper reacted well, and Leeds have a corner.
Oh, that's excellent. He actually scored a goal like that for Hoffenheim, which I remember well. On the right-hand side, cuts inside left foot and sticks it top corner. There he took an extra touch or two. It went past 1-2 players. You think he's going to hit it, but when he does, good direction, but comfortable.
Bazunu punches the corner kick clear as far as Dan James. Dan James well outside the box, trying to find Somerville. He's given it away, but James comes in to make a block challenge. The ball stays in play. The game is still on. And Leeds react, but don't get to it. Southampton with Walker Peters now have possession. Southampton man still down off the pitch as a result of that clash with James. So the ball's been kicked off, but the player's already off the pitch. So
absolutely,
it's pointless.
And it's not a head injury either, and actually just a coming together. James just stood his ground. It was a collision. Armstrong is the player that has gone down, but it's actually Armstrong's momentum that then crashed into James. James did nothing wrong there whatsoever.
Stuart Armstrong's back on his feet and back on the pitch anyway. But if a player's off, the treatment takes place off the field of play. So kicking the ball out doesn't really amount to anything. So I wonder whether I suppose Leeds will give the ball back, won't they?
Daniel Farker here has just called over Ampadu just to get a few instructions out there, because clearly things aren't going as we would like. So just trying to calm things down, get it a little bit more organised.
Daniel James duly returns the ball into Southampton's possession. And the home team have the ball in their own half with Bednarek. Out to this near side on the halfway line. Played forward by Downs. Miscontrol by Sulemana. So Shackleton can pick the ball up for a Leeds throw-in. Russell Martin pacing up down the technical area. Brought in the summer from Swansea City. Previously at MK Dons before that. Highly thought of as a young coach in the midst of a bad run, up until this game at least. And now Leeds are trying to get going again forward with Daniel James. Now it comes to Kamara. Kamara helps it out wide left side to Somerville. Somerville has a overlapping Sam Byram to play the ball to. Byram just outside the penalty area. Back into Somerville. Forced away from the box. Ampadu couldn't control it. Shane, who's in a bit of space outside the area. Now the counter-attack is on for Southampton. Great challenge by Pascal Strout. Vital as well. Pirro spins away from Smallbone. Fouled by Smallbone. This could easily be another yellow, and it is going to be another yellow, because Pirro had wriggled away from the marking player and was on his way, and he was pulled to the ground. Yeah, great close control from Joel Pirro. But Somerville actually did well when he gave a poor pass. He then chased after it, but he thought he was going to foul the man, didn't. He just stood out. And Pascal Strout with a great interception allowed Pirro to gain the free kick. So that's two Southampton players yellow carded in the still relatively early stages of this game, inside 20 minutes. Leeds on the halfway line with Shackleton. Kamara bundled over by Smallbone. The referee sees nothing wrong with that challenge. Kamara picks himself up and the game is ongoing. Strouk into the midfield to Kamara. Spreads it wide to Byram. Halfway line, Sam Byram. Back into Kamara, comes to help him out. Holds it up and then knocks it on to Jorginho. Jorginho tripped there, surely. Well, the ball breaks free and Leeds still have possession. Otherwise, there would be questions asked about that challenge. Well, surely the referee would have brought it back. He's just, pointing now. Flynn Downs was the one with the foul. Joel Pirro, just outside the penalty area, to Dan James to attack the box now. James goes for the byline, clips it into the middle. Lovely looking ball. Smallbone heads it away. Nobody there waiting for it. Kamara goes out left side to Byram. Byram to curl the ball into the penalty area. It's gone too deep, surely. Well, actually, it was just over the head of Jorginho, who's in the 6-yard box. And Dan James hadn't set off, and it carries behind beyond both for a goal kick. Well, that was unfortunate, just slightly overhit, because Jorginho took up a really good position, but as he was going backwards, Ryan Manning was just standing there and into the back of the striker. Down he goes. Southampton with Walker-Peters on that far touchline, under pressure from Somerville. Benrick gives it away. Somerville into Dan James. James was closed down by Walker-Peters, so he tried to hook it forward. Looping header from the halfway line from Liam Cooper. Now Jorginho battling away and gets a foul as well. Arms around the shoulders of Jorginho there, who goes to ground. And the referee blows for a Leeds free kick in a good position, just in from the touchline. Well, Downs is trying to say that Jorginho got hold of his shorts, but what Jorginho's done well is just to get his body in the way, shield that ball, and Downs just couldn't get around him to get on the ball. So again, Somerville with the free kick delivery for Leeds United. There's a one-man Southampton wall. It's just outside the penalty area that it's established, that wall, 2-3 yards out. Somerville comes to the far post. Ampadu trying to win the header, wins the header, but it comes off the top of his head and goes behind for a goal kick. Well, delivery of the ball was slightly better, but not much. It was a whipped ball, but it went very high. So easy for a defender just to nudge Ampadu, who couldn't really get any direction on the header. So a couple of set-piece opportunities Leeds haven't really made much of, as Southampton finally do start to play out from the back, as we were anticipating. And they succeed in getting up into the Leeds half at least, but Strouk has it back now. Cooper, who goes back to Meslier. Southampton's turn perhaps to press high here. They let Strouk walk up with the ball through the middle for Jorginho. No, got to hold it. He's given it away again. It's bounced off him. Those sort of balls straight through the middle is where he needs to be, really strong. And a couple of times now, it's just bounced off. We've lost possession. Saying that, Pirro's done it once or twice himself as well. Good link-up play by Southampton as they come forward with Walker-Peters towards the corner flag. Excellent. Strouk's done a great job there just to keep him away from goal, keep him away from the ball ultimately, and it runs out for a Leeds goal kick.
Yeah, it's done very well. And now we are playing out from the back again. Pascal, who's clearly very left-footed, is on the right. I always think that is a slight disadvantage when we are playing so much from the back.
Yeah, with Cooper to his left. Through the middle for Kamara, the ball goes.
Better.
Kamara with a push pass to Byram, who crosses the halfway line. Byram down the line for Somerville. Past Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters gets back at him, but Somerville still has the ball at his feet. Curls across deep. James was waiting at the far post. It required a defender's header in the middle. James picks it up outside of the penalty area for Leeds United. Gives it to Pirro. Pirro infield to Ampadu. Ampadu out wide to James to take the ball towards the byline before Sulemana gets in front of him. Does well, actually, defensively. And then there's a... Dan James wins it back. Pirro in the penalty area. Breaks out for Kamara. Just outside the box. Little ball laid off for Byram to shoot goalwards. And Byram's shot just goes wide of Bazuna's right-hand post.
A couple of really good chances there. Unfortunately, Sam Byram couldn't quite control the shot. Scored last week with an excellent header. This time he finds himself in the box again on his left foot, but good closing there wasn't from Dan James. Manning just goes down. No free kick given, rightly so. A couple of half chances go begging.
Sulemana loses the ball in the Leeds half. Cooper defends with the ball out of defensive position up to the halfway line. That finds Somerville under pressure from Walker-Peters.
Right,
Somerville is dragged back by Walker-Peters. The referee looked straight at it and awarded Leeds a free kick on the halfway line.
Yeah, that's really good strength and technique from Somerville to make sure he keeps that ball away from the defender.
Just a delay before the game resumes. Kamara standing over the free kick will then leave it, I think, to Liam Cooper. As Daniel Farker appears below on the edge of the technical area for Leeds. Hands in pockets. Cooper's ball lofted forward. Jorginho trying to wriggle away from the centre-half on the edge of the penalty area, but as he does that, the ball carries beyond him into the hands of Bazunu. And then it's with Bednarek knocked wide to this touchline to Stuart Armstrong. And it finds its way back to Bazunu, who's out to the penalty area. And plays a short pass to Harwood Bellis. And Alcaraz goes to Smallbone on the Southampton right, which is where the ball still remains, with Harwood Bellis back into the penalty area to Bazunu now. 25th minute, moving into the 26th. Still that opening goal inside 3 minutes is the difference between the two teams.
Yes, but at least we've got a foothold in the game now, haven't we? We look far better. Managed to get it from back to middle to front quicker with more space, and now trying to attack them.
Jorginho can't get to the ball, held off it by Bednarek. Sulemana with a long, hopeful ball that Cooper will have to deal with, and does. And then Byram with a no-nonsense clearance forward that sees the ball bounce almost level with the edge of the Southampton penalty area, and then head towards the touchline before Bazunu gets out of the box to keep the game alive for their home team. Bednarek through the middle. Now towards the halfway line. And then Stuart Armstrong had made a run, but it was read by Stroud, who got a cross in front of him. Just kept him away from it. And the ball is back with Meslier now.
Good defending again. Pascal, I think, he's had a fine first 25 minutes, I have to say. Really important at the heart of the defence there. He's been winning balls in the air, on the ground, some kind of good challenges, and just trying to use the ball better, which we have done after the first 5-10 minutes.
Meslier under pressure from Adam Armstrong. Strikes ball over the halfway line. Is won by Downs, and then goes all the way back to the edge of the Southampton penalty area, where Bazunu waits, the Irish international. Bednarek gives it back to him. And Bazunu then skims the ball out wide to Walker-Peters, who's charging forward for Southampton now, and he's making good progress into that Leeds, deep into that Leeds half. Walker-Peters with a low drive. It hits Liam Cooper. And Somerville, who began the pursuit, stopped the pursuit, is then fouled on the edge of his own box by Smallbone. Yellow carded, remember.
I mean, is that not another yellow card? Just a hack from behind. He's missed the ball completely. You just wonder if he hadn't been yellow carded, that would have been a yellow card, but because it would have been a sending off, the referees decided not to. Don't know why, because yellow card's a yellow card either way, but Smallbone, I think, is a little lucky there.
So Somerville's going to need treatment as a consequence of that challenge from the much bigger physical presence of Smallbone, the central midfielder, an Irish international. And Asensio Somerville.
And that's a poor challenge. It really is a poor challenge. He's nowhere near the ball. And he's just taken Somerville out, so you can see why. But that really should have been a yellow card. And I just wonder, has he hurt his shoulder? Because now I'm looking at the treatment that he's getting. It definitely is his shoulder.
Yeah, maybe he's fallen heavily on it, popped it. So Leeds, who have had a high number of injuries to deal with through the course of this season, even as the squad continues to get stronger. There are replacements there, but it's quite early to be making one of those.
Shoulder or collarbone, it's one of those anyway. So I think the kick to his leg isn't the problem now. It's more a movement in the shoulder area. Let's hope he's okay, because I think he's started well. You know, he's been sharp. It's looked good. The quality, I think, obviously can be increased on some of the crosses, but you know, he has been a danger all the game so far.
So Somerville walks tentatively, slowly towards the touchline, just swinging that left arm backwards and forwards by way of a kind of a fitness test, I guess. Medical staff with him, relaying the message back to the dugout and Rob Price on the far side of the stadium. Rob Price appears at the edge of the technical area in conversation with the fourth official now. Somerville, I think, will come back on, but he's not back on yet. Ball up in the air, is carried all the way through to Bazzuno from the free kick in the Leeds half. Bednarek walks it forward for Southampton. Pushes it away from Pirot to Harwood Bellis. Edge of the centre circle. Somerville ready to come back on now from the halfway line. Reappears. Bednarek. Conversation going on. Daniel Farke's probably asking the question about the challenge as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a yellow card. Simple as that. Therefore, that's his second one. He should have been off instead. What we've got is a free kick and an injured player, which can't be right.
Southampton halfway line. Keeping possession. Before pushing it to Stuart Armstrong to work the ball beyond Shackleton to Suleimana. Looking on the edge of the penalty area to get it into the middle, into the penalty area. Plays it back, penalty spot, rolled in by Smallbone. Will Smallbone put Southampton 2 in front. And you know the question that Leeds United will now ask, should Smallbone have been on to score the second goal? Whatever, that's what's happened, and Southampton lead by 2-0.
Well, there was an excellent finish from Smallbone. I'm with you, should have been on the pitch. However, he is, so you need to defend a lot better. The run from Suleimana actually is quite straightforward. Someone has to pick him up. He gets in behind Shackleton. The ball then retreated off, but on the edge of the box, as he runs forward, the ball is a good one from Suleimana, sticks out the instep and guides it into that far corner. Lots of blue shirts along the 6-yard box. No one actually picking up the goal scorer.
So, just past the half-hour mark. A bad afternoon already. It's just got a little bit worse for Leeds, who have it all to do here now at St Mary's. I can tell you that Daniel Farke is a very unhappy figure down below. Patrick Bamford joined in the discussion with the fourth official, and we know what the subject matter was. Leeds with Jorginho. Pushes a good ball to James, but James is just offside. Set off a margin too early there. And that will be a Southampton free kick. So Southampton, who've had all the problems recently, must feel that their luck has changed here, because they've got themselves 2 goals and they've got away with a big call as well.
Yeah, so we now have to work out how to turn this one around. There's no doubt Southampton got their tails up, still playing it out from the back. We certainly need to defend a lot better. Didn't go with the runner for the first goal, nor the second one. So our tight defence, no goals in 4 games, has certainly been breached a couple of times already. No more goals, and we have to get ourselves back in it.
Yep, that's very much the order of the day here. Leeds, remember, were 2 up here last season and ended up drawing 2-2. Well, it's going to be a reverse of that scenario now, as a yellow card is coming out for Liam Cooper for a challenge on the halfway line.
I think it's Kamara. I think it's Kamara with the yellow. He was the one that gave the foul away, but once again, if that's a foul, then the other one's a foul and a yellow card as well. So anyway, just having a look, it's a challenge slightly late. He brings him down. Okay, fine. Yellow card. Be consistent, though, referees. Be consistent.
Smallbone jogs back to take the free kick for Southampton. Goes backwards with it. And it goes back to Bazunu on the edge of the penalty area. It's been a mixed bag of results here at St Mary's for Leeds in recent seasons. The draw last season, defeat the season before, and in the penultimate game of the first season back in the Premier League, there was a good win for Leeds, 2-0 win. Bazunu. The Southampton fans, who've not been in a buoyant mood by any stretch of the imagination in recent weeks, are clapping away and enjoying their team's performance for the first time in a while.
Yeah, but we just need to keep it going, because we know this team can concede goals, and plenty of them. Conceded 5 away at Sunderland, didn't they? I think here, Norwich, 4 they conceded. Yeah. So, plenty of, I think, chances will be had, but we've got to keep asking the questions and be better going forward than we are at the moment.
Suleimana, look at the space he's got. Plays the ball to the far side of the penalty area. Armstrong for the shot. Armstrong shoots and scores. Leeds undone again. And Armstrong danced his way through. Found he had time, found he had space, and he drilled the ball low and hard. And it's getting worse for Leeds. Southampton 3, Leeds 0.
Well, another excellent finish from Armstrong, but quite simply, we have to be better defensively. I thought we'd improve. This is a reminder that we still have a bit of work to do. And Armstrong twists Sam Byram inside and out. The fullback, not quite sure where he ends up, but after that, the finish from Armstrong is very good indeed. Ball out wide, and when this ball does come across, it's hit with plenty of pace. He's onside. And you're one-on-one, keep him going down the line. Instead, twists and turns. A couple of deflections as well. I just wonder if that comes off actually Pascal Strout, whether Melier gets a touch. Might have then been going to safety instead. Hits Strout, and in the goal it goes. I think that's actually an own goal.
Well, Armstrong will obviously want it. He's been in fine form, Adam Armstrong, for Southampton, whatever's been happening at the other end. So he's definitely got his 6th, and he's maybe got his 7th of the season there. And that would put him level at the top of the scoring charts with Jack Clark, who added another 2 for Sunderland, who won away at Sheffield Wednesday last night, the former Leeds player. So now it's all noise from the home supporters and those Leeds fans who've got up at crazy early hours this morning. And they're on the road at 5 a.m. if you're travelling down from West Yorkshire. Have a real sinking feeling. Jorginho drifts past. Oh, clear pull by Benrek on Jorginho. Play continues because Leeds still have the. He's caught again, a second time.
How many times and fouls at last? Here we are, yellow card. It's the same thing. If that's a yellow card, then the other one is. It's just very frustrating. Jorginho's been pulled from behind, hacked down in the second time and foul, which then the play was brought back. But The other thing I don't get then either, if it's advantage, it's advantage. If it's not, it's not. That was kind of right between the two houses, wasn't it?
I think the referee was saying that there were so many fouls being committed that eventually just had to stop the play.
Yeah, but Shackleton's in a great position. That's the thing. He's already, let the first one go. Once you see that advantage, I'd rather the ball with Shackleton free inside the 18-yard box than, call it right back here for a free kick. But the referee's having a dubious day, and it's not really going our way at the moment.
Certainly is not. Somerville with the free kick for Leeds. Somewhat shell-shocked, I would imagine, at this stage after such a good run. Somerville towards the far side of the penalty area. It's headed clear. There's a look of a handball in there, but nobody else saw it but me. Armstrong, Stewart that is, who cleared a long way up into the Leeds half. And it's Meslier who comes out the penalty box to pick the ball up on the edge of the D.
To be fair, I'm with you. I thought it was handball as well, but there was such a lack of appeal from anyone that clearly it mustn't have been.
Kamara goes back to Cooper. Across the back to Strauch. And out towards Shackleton on this near side. Jorginho to James. James comes infield. Goes down. And Leeds get a free kick as a combination of Stuart Armstrong and Sulemana. It's taken quickly. Ampadu to Jorginho. He's just outside the box. He tried to roll in James there. And James wasn't going to get to that ball. And defender stepped in front of him and it rolled behind, and it's a goal kick.
Actually, the run from James was well covered by the defender, but what that did was allow space in the middle for Jorginho to chop inside again on that left foot, but he didn't see it that way.
Yeah, I thought he might have been a bit more selfish there, Jorginho. Southampton with Stuart Armstrong on the ball. Ampadu takes it off his toes and knocks it into touch. And Daniel Farker it is who flicks the ball into the hands of the fullback Ryan Manning to take the throw-in down Southampton's left.
Ampadu and Alcaraz. Oh, Alcaraz, the 22 there, has just put his head into Ampadu.
Well, the referee has called him over. Hasn't called him over. Alcaraz is trying to make himself small here and merge into the background, but the referee is bringing him over for a talk now. Well, let's see what... Well, he's called Ampadu in as well.
Well, it was a bit of a pushing and shoving, and they were both kind of head-to-head, but then Alcaraz certainly made just a little movement towards Ampadu. It's one of those where sometimes you see that player then fall to the ground. Ampadu didn't. There wasn't too much in it, but Alcaraz, very silly, and he's got away with it. Well,
now Leeds will feel that the rub of it is definitely not going their way. As the ball goes back to Bazunu in the penalty area, and we've 5 minutes more of this. Well, it's been an eventful first half, hasn't it? Not eventful in a way,
not
perhaps
a good
that
way,
we were
Bryn.
anticipating, and definitely definitely not in any sort of good way.
Well, you just wonder, were the boys a little overconfident? Did we underestimate this Southampton side? Whatever it is, this home side is certainly full of energy and fight. And once we gave away that first goal, they've really attacked us, and at 3-0, we have it all to do.
Ain't that the truth? Leeds have won mega comeback at St Mary's in the past. I think that was 3 with 20 minutes to go, wasn't it? So we'll cling on to the hope that it's happened before here. As the ball goes out wide and then comes back in towards the edge of the Southampton penalty area. They're defending, they're in possession. And I'm sure they'll be more than happy just to roll the ball around for the remaining 4 minutes of this first period. Bazunu pressured by Somerville, so he just goes long. And Byram gets the header, feels he was spun away from the ball as he went up through it.
He was. Armstrong clever, just give him a nudge as he was going up. Couldn't get a clean header on it, just heads it straight out for a throw into the Saints.
Walker-Peters down the line to Adam Armstrong on a hat-trick here. The former Newcastle player. Ball goes out, and it will be a Southampton throw-in by the corner flag. Southampton with the ball in a real advanced position here with Walker-Peters now taking charge Potential for a long throw here, perhaps. Goes in short to Smallbone, back to Walker-Peters. And then Downs back out to Stuart Armstrong, who goes past a couple of challenges, tries to get the ball back into the penalty area, and it comes off the back of Sam Byram, and it spins back into play, and Byram is able to clear forward as a result. Jorginho can't get up to it. Bednarek is more than happy from inside the Leeds half just to go all the way back into his own half, where Bazunu was waiting a long way out the penalty area. And Bazunu with a right foot ball has picked out Walker-Peters. Peachera passed that from the goalkeeper. Walker-Peters curls across in. Cooper heads it away from the penalty area. Comes back out to Sulemana. Sulemana slows it down and gives it back to Downs. Short passing field to Smallbone, and then back with Downs. Back on the halfway line with Bednarek. Bednarek back into Bazunu. Southampton doing all they need to do here, as we mentioned, just keeping possession, working the ball right to left and back again.
That's right, that's all they need to do, is keep it moving quickly, keep drawing us on, but we can put good pressure on them and try and force a mistake somehow, but it's not happening yet.
Well, Leeds have really had a big moment in front of Bazunu. He's been well protected, and Southampton at the other end have been in rampant form. Sulemana to Walker-Peters on the halfway line, into Leeds half and then back into Southampton's territory, and Walker-Peters again. There's a little bit of an extra swagger in the step of the Southampton players now, unsurprisingly. They started the season well, and then it's all fallen apart in the last 4 matches, but I guess maybe all they needed was a little glimpse of something a bit better to give them the hope and the optimism, and the confidence has come back again, perhaps. Stuart Armstrong closed out by Dan James, so that will be a Southampton throw-in.
I think it's certainly brave from Russell Martin and how he wants this team to play, to keep going and going when you do get, you know, a battering or conceding 5, conceding 4, and still have that sort of belief. And it's this sort of game that can go either way, can't it? So I mean, they can lose a goal early on and they could really crumble, or, like they are doing, just tails up and they're flying.
Yeah, there was a home crowd that was waiting to be disappointed here, wasn't there, at the outset? Almost expecting to be disappointed, and then things started going in a different direction very early on, and they've kept going in that direction ever since. James now for Leeds United. A goal back before half-time might help. Dan James up towards the edge of the penalty area. Curls across in. Jorginho tries to turn it further on. It's headed clear. It's back again as far as James, but James can't get to it on the edge of the area. And Sulemana has it for Southampton. Dances his way in between 2, then 3 challenges, and plays the ball to Smallbone. And now Southampton charge on a counter-attack with the ball not wide to Walker-Peters in space. He's up to the edge of the penalty area. Plenty waiting in the middle. Cuts it back. Curls across in now. Headed goalwards. And just touched over the crossbar by Meslier from the head of Alcaraz.
Well, every time Southampton go forward, they look bright and dangerous. Sulemana has been really good in this first half down this left-hand side. That time, in his own half, he held the ball up, beat a couple of challenges, and starts an attack down the right-hand side. And Meslier probably going over anyway, but take no chances, just get something on it and help it over.
5 added minutes. And Southampton are attacking in the final 5 minutes as they were inside the opening 5 minutes. They have the corner kick. Stuart Armstrong stands over the ball. Sulemana is sent away as it's curled in towards the near post. Flicked on from there by Adam Armstrong, and waiting at the back post was Smallbone, and he couldn't quite get on the end of it, and it went behind for a goal kick.
Smallbone's appealing for a push, which is quite ironic, but there we are. Good ball in there, wasn't it? Excellent flick at that near post. Whether it's an attacker or a defender, it was a Southampton man who got there first.
Oh, Meslier got a hard pass off Shackleton there, and he flicked it up with 1 foot and just kind of scraped it away with the other foot, just about managed it. Wasn't the ball he wanted. Pirot into James. James a bit lucky to get the break of the ball. Now Kamara funnels it wide left side to Byram. A minute and a half of the added time gone. Byram midway inside the Southampton half, back to Kamara. Kamara into the centre circle to Strauch. And Strauch on it goes to Pirot. Pirot switches the play to the left side, and now Byram to the edge of the penalty area. Byram wide to Somerville. Somerville back it comes to Kamara. Kamara just outside the area, plays it in to James, who lays it off for Somerville. Somerville looks up, shoots goalwards, hits the defender on the near post, and spins back out into the path of Somerville, who gives it to Byram to recycle. Now Kamara. Leeds come back a little to Liam Cooper. Every Leeds player's forward here. Now Shackleton, space and time. Leeds right, holds it up, plays it back into the middle to Strauch. And now Ampadu, surely at some point it's going to come forward. Leeds going backwards instead as Cooper's back in his own half now. Kamara on that far side, on the halfway line. Everyone's going to come back again. Leeds had everybody up, and now the ball's back at the feet of Meslier.
Yeah, good defending from Southampton. We couldn't quite find any sort of space, but not long left in this first half. Nice to get a shot on target or even a goal.
Just get it in there, yeah.
Or get something in there, yeah.
Well, Somerville can do that now because he's coming forward for Leeds. He's into the penalty area, still going, shoots goalwards. It takes a deflection on at least on its way towards goal, and then it carries behind, and it's a Leeds corner kick.
He's been really bright, Somerville. Every time he's got it, he's been nice and positive, driving at Walker-Peters, whether he goes outside or inside. And this time does get another shot away, just like a minute or two earlier, but it comes off the Saints defender and out for a corner kick.
So that corner will be taken by Dan James. Raises an arm as a signal. Curls the ball in now, right under the keeper. Bazzuno's dropped it, and it's a foul awarded for the challenge by Pascal Strauch as Bazzuno dropped out the air there.
Just the previous replay there, it did hit actually the hand of the defender as well, but I think it was down near the side, so nothing given. Unfortunately there, Pascal Strauch just arms over the head and shoulders of the goalkeeper. That's a foul.
So Leeds have one more minute to try and get into the Southampton penalty area again. Try and get something on the board before the whistle sounds. Ball is given away by Leeds on the halfway line. Smallbone back to Bednarek, and then Manning over the top where Strauch clears. Southampton fans wanted a free kick for the challenge on Suleimana, nothing doing. He has the ball, loses the ball. Ampadu plays the ball into the middle. Walker-Peters is comfortably underneath that one, controls it. Under a little pressure from Jorginho now, so Bednarek just hacks it up towards the halfway line, where Byram waits for Leeds. 30 seconds of the added time period remaining. Leeds in possession in the Southampton half. Kamara into Jorginho. Jorginho tried to roll the ball into the path of James, but it's kept away from Dan James. Southampton with Alcaraz have it, and comes off Kamara. Kamara somehow manages to get it to Byram. Byram is closed down quickly. Leeds have a throw in, but these are the last knockings of this first 45 plus minutes. Leeds come with Byram. Doesn't quite work its way out to Jorginho. Pass just not coming off for Leeds in those important positions, and the whistle sounds on what has been a very bad first half for Leeds United. Conceded 3 times, and as the Leeds players head towards the tunnel, there'll be a certain surprise in the ranks, surely, that after so many good recent performances, this has just happened. Half-time scoreline here is Southampton 3, Leeds United 0.
Well, that's an absolute wake-up call, wasn't it? 3-0 down, we did not defend well at all. We allowed Southampton to get in between us, beyond us. I'm going to put my coat on, keep warm, and second half we need to improve.
Yeah, it's going to be much better from Leeds in the second half. Not every decision has gone Leeds' way by any stretch of the imagination either, but 3 goals have gone in. There's so much work to be done here. Half-time scoreline at St Mary's, Southampton 3, Leeds 0. Leeds were hoping, maybe expecting is taking it too far, but certainly hoping to extend the unbeaten run, and it's in serious danger here as the second half begins.
Well, yes, I think what you're hoping for is a good, strong performance. Oh, Pascal.
Got himself into all sorts of trouble, and already Leeds are on the back foot as Byram comes in, tidies it up. Alcaraz was offside anyway. Who me, he says, as the flag is raised, and Leeds get a free kick. Strauch has a more comfortable possession and knocks it wide to Shackleton, who comes back to Pascal Strauch. Still a lot of home fans retaking their seats here. Jorginho, again, touch comes off him, and Shackleton has to go back to recover the situation. Shackleton pushes it to Jorginho on the touchline. Wriggles his way forward and is fouled in the process. Gives it quickly back to Ampadu. Leeds have possession, if not having gained any ground.
It's great ability from Jorginho, but he's doing it 10 yards inside his own half. We want it in that last third.
Bazunu right out to the edge of the penalty area to gather the long through ball from the back. He rolls it out to Harwood-Bellis. And then Walker-Peters. Smallbone. Armstrong apparently onside there as Cooper misses the first challenge, but Strout comes in with a second and puts it into touch for a Southampton throw-in midway inside the Leeds half. Leeds defending the end in front of the travelling fans now. Bednarek at the back for Southampton. To Harwood-Bellis, back into Bazunu. And he just lifts the ball out to this near side. Kamara steps in, intercepts, gets it to Jorginho. Little back flick from Jorginho. I think he thought Kamara would set off after it. He didn't, so Jorginho had to go and chase his own pass. Didn't get there.
I thought the same thing. Kamara should have just moved forward. Excellent flick, but as he then tried to recover the situation, we've given the ball away.
And Southampton work it down the left. Sulemana taking on Shackleton here. Shackleton does well, just diverts the ball into the path of Ampadu. Ampadu, when he looks forward, there's a lot of space for Leeds all of a sudden. Jorginho has possession now in the Southampton half. Whips a good ball, looking for, well, it had the potential to be a good ball from Jorginho in the direction of Pirot, but it was actually under hit, and it was an easy chest down for the defender on the edge of the penalty area.
That's a shame because he saw the pass, didn't he? Got the direction as well, but just not enough power behind it to get it all the way to Joel Pirot. Sorry, he's had a kind of a quiet first half. Couldn't really get him in the game anywhere near enough.
The two of them playing up top at the moment, alongside each other. As Adam Armstrong plays a through ball, which spins away to Alcaraz in the penalty area. Low drive is blocked by Strauch. It's still there for Sulemana in the penalty box. Takes on the defender. He's done too much with it. Too much of an extravagant turn from Sulemana there. But it needed a sudden intervention to prevent the Alcaraz shot on goal.
Well, once again, we don't look comfortable at the back, do we? There's some dubious defending out there, unfortunately. Just got to try and keep it tight, keep it calm, but Southampton, when they come forward, seem to be causing us all sorts of problems.
Shackleton. Again, the sun is out here. It's not shining on Leeds. Meslier. Just outside the D. Ilham Meslier with a short ball to Pascal Strauch. Strauch wide to Shackleton. Back it comes in to Strauch, who's going to chase it to get to it. Plays it into the middle to Kamara. Loses out to Smallbone. Armstrong just outside the D. Plays it into Stuart Armstrong. He can shoot goalwards. It takes a deflection on its way, and it carries behind for a corner kick. And there are little discussions going on between the Leeds players there as to how they ended up conceding possession in that position.
Pascal Strauch is certainly trying to, play out through the middle, but Kamara just slightly on his heels. Not really sure he wanted it there. He got given the ball. We lost it, and all of a sudden they're at us.
50th minute. Southampton corner, first of this second period. Taken short to Sulemana. Into the penalty area to Adam Armstrong. Back to Sulemana. He gives it wide to Stuart Armstrong. Into Adam Armstrong. No relation. Ball crossed, comes off the back of Shackleton. Picked up by Jorginho, but Leeds are deep, deep inside their own half, and there isn't a single player ahead of Jorginho who's trying to battle away to get the ball back for Leeds. Concedes a throw-in. And finally, Leeds move up the pitch as Southampton come back at them with Harwood-Bellis to Alcaraz. And now the central defender Harwood-Bellis back to the goalkeeper Bazunu. To Ryan Manning. Gives it back into Bazunu. Lifted out to Walker-Peters. Again, Kamara gets in ahead of Walker-Peters. Second time that's happened. Kamara on this near side struggled to control. It was a ball hit hard by Pirot in his direction. Leeds do end up with a throw-in.
What Kamara's done well is just to allow that 7-8 yards of space, thinking, oh, he's okay to get it to Walker-Peters.
Here's Byram. Byline in the penalty area. Cuts the ball back into the middle. Well, there were 5 Southampton players in there, and it wasn't a Leeds shirt really particularly close. So it looked like it was promising that. It didn't lead to anything. But Leeds have it with Kamara. Nods it down to Ampadu. Midway inside. Now Byram just outside the box. Touch is heavy. Taken off his toes by Bednarek. And then good challenge in an advanced position from Cooper. Somerville has the ball. Smallbones in front of him. Square play to Byram. And then on the edge, Jorginho tumbles to the ground, but the ball is beyond him and straight through to Bazunu.
Not quite sure what Byram is doing up in that centre-forward position with his back to goal. Wouldn't be his strength of his, but at least we did look like we won the ball back nice and early. Put Southampton back defending in their own third at least.
Meslier to Pascal Struijk. And Struijk infield a little way to Ampadu. Forward to Kamara. Does well to deal with that one. Tricky pass. He played out wide now to Dan James to run at the defence. Dan James powering up towards the byline. Cuts the ball back into the middle to Shackleton. Can he get the ball back in? No. Comes out on that far side where James will go and win it back. Strong challenge by James, and he's fouled by Sulemana. Whips his feet away from under him because James was too strong for him in the challenge there.
It really was, and James does well, but he's just been dragged back by Sulemana and thrown to the floor. Just a free kick.
The referee goes in for a word with Sulemana, but no more than that. So James it is who will stay out on that far side to take the corner kick for Leeds, the free kick rather, for Leeds United. Sulemana the wall between him and the edge of the penalty area. James hurls it in now. Heads go up in the middle. Headed clear by Bednarek. Just the sort of defensive header clear you want in a situation like that, and the experienced Bednarek provided it. Leeds have it on the halfway line. Begin the job of trying to work the ball forward all over again. Ampadu. And has the ball back off Struijk. Still Bazunu not had a save to make. James on the touchline. Further down the line to Shackleton. Shackleton wins Leeds a throw in. Just chucks it down the line looking for James. Leeds get another throw in. Almost level this time with the edge of the Southampton penalty area. And Shackleton again there to take it. Throws it in. Looks like a foul throw to me. Nothing given. Jorginho into the penalty box. Couldn't poke it into the path of a teammate who was holding off 2 Southampton players as he tried to do it. As the ball goes out wide, Kamara is in there battling away for Leeds. So is Sulemana, so is Ampadu. Sulemana goes down, Leeds ball. Ampadu very unhappy about some element of that challenge from Sulemana. Throw in taken quickly, and Leeds have it with Liam Cooper. Bit of space down the left briefly for Byram. Gives it back short to Cooper. On to Somerville. Not so much of the ball in the second half, Crescencio Somerville. He's come over to this left side now, where Leeds now have it at the back with Struijk. Goes out wide to James in the Southampton half. Dan James. Again, Jorginho goes down. Dan James holds it up, gets him back on his feet. Jorginho into the gap for James, into the penalty area. Goes down under a challenge. Referee looks and waves away any protests that Leeds might make about a penalty kick there.
Well, nice and positive from Jorginho, who gets the ball through to Dan James. I don't think there's too much wrong with the challenge. Ryan Manning on Dan James.
Somerville does well to win the ball. Oh, no. Shoulder-to-shoulder challenge by Somerville on Walker-Peters, and Somerville wins the ball and moves into the penalty area, and the ref blows the whistle for a free kick.
Again, that one can go either way, but it's not going for us, is it? Not sure why that was given.
Seen plenty of challenges like that, not giving us free kicks, even in this game. Ampadu, good work through the middle for Pirot. Better period for Leeds this. But Pirot loses out because Southampton have worked hard to take the ball. Then Kamara's fouled by Armstrong, Stuart Armstrong, on the edge of the centre circle, who then steps in to block the free kick, which is a bookable offence now.
Absolutely. If he's just, you know, stepping back and we kick it into him, fine, that's not. But you're right, Armstrong made a forward move when he should have made a move to go away from the ball.
James for Leeds in the Southampton half. Back it goes to Stroud. Sense the hint of frustration in the voices here at the moment, as Leeds enjoying more possession, but just looking to make it into something more than possession. James, back it goes to Ampadu, who just plays the ball out to this near side to Byram, who's got a bit of space outside the penalty area, but needs to get it on his right foot. Back in it goes to Kamara, keeps it away from Alcaraz, and then Somerville goes down under the challenger Walker-Peters, through the back of Somerville, that one.
Absolutely. Ball's just played into Somerville and he's trod right on the back of his foot. I think the frustration thing is here, it looks like if we can get the first goal, we can actually go on and really take it to Southampton and ask them a few more questions, but it's getting that first goal. Just can't quite break them down, can't find the right pass, the bit of quality at the end of it. Now, can we do it with this free kick? Dan James is over it.
Well, the Leeds fans are doing their bit. They're making noise inside this stadium. Home fans are pretty quiet, despite the fact their team is 3 goals up.
Deep as well, aren't they? On the 6-yard line.
Look at this. They've got a line of players
really
across
deep.
the edge of the 6-yard box, and all the blue shirts are in front of that line. As James curls it in, and it's headed away from the first of that line. Comes back for James. Bundled over, edge of the penalty area. Play goes on with Somerville on the ball. Somerville plays it into space for Ampadu, shoots goalwards, spins up in the air, deflection off a defender, goes behind for a Leeds corner.
Oh, excellent play. Somerville just very patient. Ampadu was in space, not an easy ball to deal with, but he had to wait just that split second for it to come down again. Good block in the end by a Southampton defender.
Somerville goes across to take it for Leeds. 58th minute. Leeds still a long way behind. Somerville trying to address that with the corner now. Swings out. Byram's header downwards. There were 2 waiting by the goal. Still there for Stroud.
Yes!
Stroud gets a goal for Leeds. Leeds United back in the game. Pascal Stroud stabs it home. And now there's a little bit of hope here at St Mary's. Southampton 3, Leeds United 1.
Now that's more like it. Excellent. Good ball in. Byram won the initial header. And this time we were the team that was alive and alert. And in particular that man there, Pascal Stroud, who's had a fine first half, I have to say, but look how many Southampton shirts are around him. There's a good 6 or 7. Yet it's the centre half who somehow brings it down with his left and then spins and turns and tucks it away in the bottom corner with his right foot. Excellent goal. And right, let's go. Let's get another goal.
Pascal Stroud continues his bid to be Leeds' top scorer this season.
Sulemana is actually off and he's been told to go off on the far side. He's getting substituted.
So Ryan Fraser, familiar figure of Ryan Fraser, comes on to replace him. Arrived here from Newcastle. Fraser for Sulemana, who's been good up front for Southampton. Stroud with a defensive header after his offensive intervention. Pirro trying to link up with Dan James. Key period of the game as we hit the hour mark here at St Mary's. One of those situations where you would suggest that the next goal could be very important.
At least we've woken up, haven't we? We've come to the party. Certainly first half we really did not.
Well, there's big noise from the Leeds end. Jorginho almost cushioned the header into the path of Somerville. And he catches Walker-Peters a little late, and that may well be a retribution. Given Barr a free kick. And Walker-Peters has the ball. And then in the centre circle, Downs goes to Manning. Down the left, it's Fraser. Infield to Downs. Sulemana clapped on his way around the pitch. Finally arrives back at the Southampton technical area, minus his shirt. Liam Cooper back to the edge of the penalty area to Meslier. Now Strauch. Out wide to Shackleton. Strauch again. Meslier, long ball over the top. James was in an offside position, so he couldn't go and challenge for it. He's back with Bazunu. And then out to this near side. Walker-Peters just about manages to control the ball. Skips away, gives it away to Jorginho. Should have been a free kick to Southampton prior to that. Jorginho through the middle. Pirro, oh no, the first touch was heavy. Pirro so frustrated because he was clean through the middle then, and it spun off his toes and carried through to Bazunu.
That is a wonderful ball from Jorginho, and Pirro couldn't get his feet sorted. He wanted to not control it with his right, allow it to run onto his left and get a touch, and then finish with the right. Instead, you could see, just gets it all wrong. Great opportunity, great ball from Jorginho.
Over the head of Liam Cooper at the other end, so Meslier just comes and puts his foot right through that one. Sails high in the sky and drops to the foot of Bednarek. Controls it Daniel Farke style, and then plays it up towards the halfway line. One back by Strauch. Now Somerville can look forwards for Leeds. Goes wide to James, just outside the penalty area. 2-3 waiting in the middle. James plays a shot in, straight into the body of the goalkeeper. Dan James saw the opportunity, but keeper made a comfortable save.
Yeah, certainly going to be difficult to beat the keeper from there unless you really start it outside of the keeper's right-hand post and bring it back in. That was nowhere near that.
63rd minute. Southampton 3, Leeds United 1. The Leeds fans singing away as if they were the team in the lead. Byram to Kamara. Kamara looks up, plays it infield to Ampadu. Controls the ball, turns, plays it out wide. Shackleton. Leeds push every outfield player up into that Southampton half. Shackleton to Dan James. James with the ball at his feet goes back to Shackleton. Shackleton a little further back to Ampadu, and then towards the edge of the centre circle. Cooper for Leeds United. Now Kamara, and Kamara looking for the run down the left of Byram. Byram inside the box, works onto his right foot, back onto his left, and back to his right again. Now Somerville. Somerville tries a little back heel, but Adam Armstrong read it, and Byram has to settle for a throw. Gives it to Somerville, who's edging towards a corner flag. Ball out of play and came off Somerville. So Southampton have themselves a throw-in deep in their own half.
I still feel we are well in this game, you know. And Southampton all of a sudden as an attacking force has disappeared, and they are back defending, allowing us time and space, but just got to use it a little bit better.
It's still almost, it might sound strange, but you'd say to Leeds, be patient, because I know time isn't bountiful here, but just one more goal could change everything for Leeds. James on that far side tried to clip it into Jorginho unsuccessfully. Now Stuart Armstrong in his own half. Leeds
what a
snap into the challenge. Strauch, great ball. Now to Dan James, out wide to Shackleton. Shackleton into the penalty area, gives it back to James, curls it into the middle. Walker-Peters, big shouts for handball. Referee indicates came off his chest. And then Kamara and Cooper between them have prevented Alcazar's forward movement. And I think it's Cooper who's penalised for the free kick.
Yeah, well, if one didn't get in, the other did. There was a pincer movement there on Alcaraz, but you can see now Southampton trying to just slow things down, clear their heads. We want the exact opposite. We want to keep it high tempo, keep pushing, and looking at the clock, 25 minutes to go. We talked before, didn't we, about our strong bench? Well, this is where I think that has to start coming into it. What changes can be made, and we can really get some fresh impetus into our attacking play.
Walker-Peters. In it goes to Adam Armstrong. Forced back towards the halfway line by Byram. Still gets it back to Walker-Peters before Leeds win it back to Ampadu. Ampadu opens up a bit of space for himself. Plays a curling ball. He's looking for the run of Jorginho, but it was short. And it was cleared by Harwood Bellis to Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters outside of Byram, who's on his wrong foot and just waggled it at Walker-Peters there, who Leeds took the opportunity and fell over it and win Southampton a free kick.
Yeah, clever free kick, wasn't it, from Walker Peters, who did well, always looking to draw the foul.
Walker Peters has the ball now, small bone out towards Adam Armstrong and this near side touchline. Back it comes into Downs. And then Harwood Bellis. Harwood Bellis back to Bednarek. To Manning. This is what Russell Martin will want to see. Southampton back in possession of the ball again for an extended period. Over the top it goes from Manning. Comes off the head of Fraser and goes out of play for a Leeds United throw-in the Leeds half. Shackleton looking for movement. Not an awful lot on. Goes down the line actually as well. Gets it to Perrault. Taken away from Joel Perrault for another Leeds throw-in. Shackleton jogs forward to take it. Gives it to Dan James. Back to Shackleton. Rides a challenge. Comes back into his own half for support from Strauch. Square to Cooper. Forward to Kamara. Back to Strauch. Southampton about to make another change. Strauch loses out. Halfway line. And Southampton work the ball too far forward. Easy pick up for Meslier, who wants to get it going quickly, and you can see why. Stopped and Leeds play it through the middle for Kamara to Ampadu. Ethan Ampadu in the centre circle. Short ball to Kamara. And now knocked wide to Byram. Further wide to Jorginho. Tries to play it infield for Somerville. Taken away from him by Harwood Bellis. Won back by Leeds, and Ampadu delivers it wide to James. He's into the penalty area. Dan James on his left foot. Shoots just wide. And there's a big roar from the Leeds away fans because the ball hit the hoarding behind the goal, hit the back of the net, and there was a ripple, but it was the wrong side.
Unfortunately, Dan James gets his shot all wrong. Outside of the boot, but going wide and ending up even wider. It's a shame, but he picks it up well and then attacks the fullback. Once you shift to that half a yard, just got to hit the target, and more importantly, go across goal. Keeper saves it. You've got someone then running in. Instead, James goes for the near, but gets it all wrong.
Changes being made. Charles is coming on, and Che Adams is coming on, and Smallbone is finally departing for Southampton, having scored a goal. And Alcaraz is departing. Gets a big round of applause. Hasn't done a great deal in all fairness, I don't think, for Southampton, but he's replaced. So Adams will go up top, and Charles, by the look of it, will go into midfield. As Bazunu slices the clearance, straight into touch for a Leeds throw-in the Southampton half. Byram takes it into Jorginho, who's holding off a defender again. Walker Peters gives it back to Harwood Bellis, who plays a ball into Downs, and now Southampton have done well there. They've worked the ball out from on the edge of their own penalty area to cross the halfway line. Applause above his head from manager Russell Martin. Just what he wants to see.
Well, that certainly was good play from Southampton, under a lot of pressure, but knocked it around. One touch, worked their way out of danger.
And they have it with Fraser. Short ball to Manning, back to Fraser in the Leeds half. Well up in the Leeds half. Stuart Armstrong swaps passes with Fraser. Two Scottish internationals into the penalty area. And it's cut back into the middle, and Adam Armstrong was waiting on the near post, and it's just taken off his toes as he was shaping to shoot by Sam Byram, and it will be a Southampton corner.
Yeah, so initially good defending from Pascal Strauch, and then when the cross does come in, Byram was right there with the Southampton player.
Leeds preparing changes now as well, with Archie Gray and Jayden Anthony to come in to the action for the away side, who are defending a corner kick. I mean, this is Southampton's first corner of this second half, isn't it, on the 70th minute mark. So 20 remaining. Southampton 3, Leeds United 1. All the damage for Leeds done in the first half as the ball is cut into the middle. Good strong punch by Meslier from under the crossbar. Comes out for Downs, and now Walker Peters. Leeds still on the edge of the penalty area, so a lot of space in front of the Southampton men in possession here as they work it from right to left. out to the touchline and then on to Adam Armstrong. Takes it towards a corner flag. Pursued by Pirot. And then Armstrong, does he keep the ball in play? He does. No, he doesn't. So the referee allowed play to continue with a cut-back cross from Stuart Armstrong, and then the flag was raised for a goal kick.
Yes, looking down, Archie and Jaden Anthony about to come on and just try 20 minutes to go. Get us going in the right direction. Just for the last 5-10 minutes, that are settled, haven't they, after conceding? We haven't really pushed on for that second goal.
Now suddenly time does become an issue with less than 20 remaining of regulation time here. Leeds still 2 behind. Strauch, the goal scorer, to Ampadu. Goes wide to Shackleton. It's getting gusty here, as you can hear. Now Dan James moves up towards the edge of the box. Gives it back to Ampadu. Ampadu back to James. Shackleton. And James on the ball, looking to get the cross in. He does get the cross in. It's deep. Somerville. Walker-Peters diverts it away from him, and he gets it back anyway. Crescencio Somerville just outside the area, onto his right foot. There's space for Somerville. Thinks about a shot, thinks and gives it to Ampadu instead. Oh no, what a shame. Dan James was kind of rooted as Ampadu shaped to shoot, and then it just rolled into touch beyond him.
I just thought Somerville was going to have a go himself. Instead, he does find a better ball, a better option in Ampadu, but he couldn't get his shot away either.
So Kamara comes off, Archie Gray comes on, and then the second change we'll see Somerville come off and Anthony come on. So Jaden Anthony, who got his first goal for Leeds last weekend, is being charged with the potential to become a hero here again in the latter stages of this game at Southampton.
Well, he's not got long to do it, has he?
That's the problem. 17 to go. Southampton still with a clear advantage in terms of the scoreline here. Leeds on the edge of the penalty area. James can't get past the strong challenge of Bednarek. The ball is eventually cleared away by Manning. Strauch is a long way forward, can't control it successfully with his chest, and it comes off him and it goes out for a Southampton throw-in, and there's a slow walk forward when they come out of a defensive shape now, Southampton, to retrieve the ball for the throw-in. Manning has the ball in his hands. To Fraser, back to Manning. And then blocked by the challenger Shackleton, but again, another Southampton throw-in. Not where Leeds want the ball, that's for sure. In that Southampton half, yes. But in Southampton's, in fact, pretty much on the halfway line. A little better than that, just inside Leeds territory, as it turns out. Armstrong, back to Manning. Manning's forced all the way back to Bazunu, but he'll get rid of it before Jorginho gets to him. Jorginho, rather. And Cooper with a downward header. Directs it to Strauch. Gets the ball back again off Shackleton. Out wide to Shackleton. Back to Strauch again. Strauch to Liam Cooper. Leeds still playing across the back in their own half. Now it goes back all the way to Meslier. Mellier's got Byram in space on this near side. Who gets the ball now? Closed down quickly by Charles. And then it goes back to Cooper. And now Meslier. 15 to go. Suddenly, time is speeding up, and that's how it feels. Pirot to Shackleton. Now Jorginho. No, Pirot took it away from him. Probably wasn't the right decision. Jorginho goes back to try and win it back. Stretches one of those long legs out, catches his opponent, and concedes a free kick.
It's a shame. I think it was actually the wrong ball to play it into a whole bunch of players anyway. Try and find the space. But just this last 10-15 minutes, not really got hold of that ball in that midfield area or delivering decent passes and service into that final third.
Now this is interesting because a long crossfield free kick from Southampton was so heavily telegraphed that it was easily read by Byram, who nodded it forward into the path of Stevens, who set off on a run over the halfway line and was then dragged to the ground. I think Walker-Peters has just been yellow carded for that.
Charles, I think it is.
Charles, yeah.
The one that has just come on, the substitute, so he goes straight into the book.
It was a really poor free kick, and they paid some sort of price, not the price Leeds wanted them to pay, just the yellow card and the free kick, which is now sees the ball back in Leeds half with Struijk on it. Back to Meslier. On to Ampadu. Oh, Mellier's outside the penalty areas. Ampadu plays it in at a height to him, but he does well to control it and clear it. Stevens' little roll into the back of his opponent, Harwood Bellis there, who goes to ground and wins a free kick. And Southampton walk very slowly now to get the ball back in the position for the free kick to be taken.
Well, they're certainly taking their time, aren't we? Aren't they? Sorry. But we need to get it back and show a bit of quality. Just lost our edge all of a sudden in the second half again.
Time taken over the free kick. Walker-Peters pushes it forward and then played onto an offside Adam Armstrong by an onside Che Adams. And that will be a Leeds free kick. Assistant on this near side signalled it. Cooper goes quickly back to Meslier. Meslier short and square to Struijk. Back to Meslier again here. And Ilham Meslier is still not played the ball forward. He's a long, long way out that penalty area as he goes square to Struijk. And then wide to Shackleton. Given away by Shackleton. Leeds start all over again with the ball headed back into the hands of Meslier from the forehead of Pascal Struijk. Byram infield to Archie Gray. Archie Gray across the back to Struijk. Then it goes forward to James down the touchline. Still holds on to it, Dan James. Looks for help. All he can see in front of me in a red shirt, so he goes short to Shackleton. Comes back then to Ampadu. Into the centre circle to Cooper. Leeds about to bring Patrick Bamford on. A welcome return. Byram on to Stephen. Anthony into the middle. Cross on to Jorginho. Comes down for Pirro! Oh, he pushes it goalwards. Couldn't get any power in it. And it goes straight, rolls straight into the hands of Bazunu.
Once again, it's great link-up play. The ball from the left-hand side comes to Jorginho, who just puts it in the path of Pirro. And couldn't find either left or right bottom corner, but good play again. First touch is excellent. Second one is where he couldn't find the composure to tuck it away.
Walker-Peters spreads the play wide to Manning. Left side of the centre circle as Southampton look at it. Lets it run off for Fraser. 12 to go here. Not an awful lot of time, I wouldn't have thought, to be added on.
No, it's a couple of chances now for Joël Pirro in this second half. First one was difficult to control, but we've seen him do that sort of thing before, and that one there, again, it's good play until the finish. He couldn't quite get it angled enough.
Shackleton down the line, gets a return ball, leads in that Southampton half. Walls of red shirts in front of them, but Anthony out to this left side where Byram has a little bit of space. Byram's into the box. Sam Byram gives out to Gray. Gray to shoot, takes the deflection, loops up in the air, and it's lost sufficient power when it drops for Bazunu to be able to race up his goal line to go and collect it on the edge of the penalty area to prevent the corner kick.
Well, again, it's a half chance, but we don't make the most of it.
Shea Charles now with the forward ball given straight away to Cooper. Leeds can come again here from the halfway line. Ampadu, Pirro. Touch isn't great from Pirro there, I've got to say. And it's conceded to Fraser. Pirro comes back at him well, though. Wins the ball back for Leeds. Home fans not happy. Nothing wrong with the challenge of Pirro. Ampadu. Oh, he's run into trouble, and he's caught Fraser as a result. And Ethan Ampadu, well, he got everything there, didn't he, really? He's been immaculate for Leeds so far this season, but that was a moment to forget. Concedes a free kick, doesn't look like he's going to get yellow carded, and Bamford can come on.
You're right, he got into a right mess, but I think at the last moment he did try and at least pull out of the challenge. That's why no yellow card, but certainly a foul.
So James is off, Bamford's on. Leeds will have a little reshuffle then. Good to see Patrick Bamford back for Leeds United.
Absolutely. I assume Jorginho, would he maybe go out to one side, Anthony the other, and Pirro and Bamford through the middle.
He's been a goal scorer for Leeds here before, Patrick Bamford. Scored in that game at the end of the lockdown season, the return to the Premier League. But at the moment, Leeds are defending, and we're into the final 10 minutes now. Meslier punches well again in the midst of the crowd there. Second ball is picked up by Southampton with Walker-Peters. Harwood Bellis, the central defender, is over on the touchline and wins Southampton a throw in. And every second that ticks down now is bad news for Leeds. One goal would be hard enough, but there are still two. And Armstrong trying to make that worse. Charles, low ball into the middle, easily picked up by Meslier. Jorginho rowing with the ref's assistant, needs to get himself up and through the middle here.
Yeah, no, Bamford's just said to him over to the right, so I think eventually Jorginho will end up on the wing. There he is now on that right-hand side.
In position. Ampadu back to Cooper. Short ball to Gray. Knocked back for Struijk. Busy week ahead again for Leeds with 2 home games to come. Jorginho, halfway line, plays almost an impeccable ball through the middle where there were 3 waiting. Actually doesn't quite manage to find any of them. And it's cleared away, and Walker-Peters has it for Southampton. Anthony, a little drag back on Walker-Peters, almost nothing there, but just enough, and a free kick awarded.
I think it's earlier as well when Jorginho picks it up, you know he's going to chop inside to his left foot, but we had 3 players kind of making the same runs. You want different runs. Jorginho can find them.
Charles breaks through the middle for Southampton. Now Armstrong on the edge of the penalty area. Onto his left foot, shoots goalwards. Easy save for Meslier to make. Attendance in excess of 30,000 here at St Mary's. So you can't fault the fans. They've kept back in the side in good numbers. Leeds fans filled all their seats as well in the away end. Still in those seats as well, just hoping, almost at the stage now of praying. Well, we are at the stage of praying for at least one more to just make this interesting. Just continue the sense that Leeds can get something from this game. Shackleton. Jorginho in that right wing role. Wriggles away from a challenge or two. Ends up only with a throw in. Goes to retrieve the ball himself and gives it to Shackleton to take the throw. 7 to go. Into the edge of the area to Pirro. Back to Jorginho. Jorginho, defender in front of him. Gives it back for Shackleton. It's also tight in there. Jorginho going for the byline, maybe whips a nice ball into the near post. Wins the clearance back as well. Goes down. Manning's challenge. Leeds throw in instead of anything more. Taken by Shackleton quickly. Back to Struijk. Everything's got to be quickly now, because the time for patience has now elapsed. Oh, Cooper's ball is way beyond Byram. I think we knew that as soon as it left his foot, it was going to be overhit, and it sails behind. It's a goal kick, and Southampton will make a couple more changes here.
The 4th substitution for the Saints, and they're coming off is the captain, number 9, Adam Armstrong.
So no hat-trick for Adam Armstrong. Skipper is going to be clapped towards the near side touchline after his 2-goal contribution in the first half. James Bree is coming on as his replacement. And the other Armstrong departs, Stewart. And he's been replaced by Aribo.
Remember him, don't we, scoring against
scored,
us.
that's right, last season.
Yeah.
So the home fans are now beginning to look forward to the moment where their losing run, those 4 games they've lost going into this one, comes to an end. Leeds just looking for something from these closing stages which will reignite hopes of a late comeback. 5 minutes to go. Southampton have a free kick on the halfway line. Taken short. Charles. And it goes to Downs, pursued by Bamford. So he cuts it back to Harwood Bellis, who's just happy to go long. Flicked on by Bree. Byron behind him. Looping headers galore. And then Bree to Charles, given away to Gray. Good work by Archie Gray. gives it back to Liam Cooper. Cooper's looking for movement that doesn't exist, and now he goes wide instead to Shackleton over on that right side for Leeds. Further wide to Jorginho. Jorginho just runs down the line and offers Fraser the chance to slide in and flick the ball into touch. The Leeds throw. Ampadu to Cooper, edge of the centre circle for Leeds United. 4 minutes to go. Leeds still 2-goal gap. Ampadu. Wide it goes to Jorginho. Jorginho moves infield. Plays it across the middle for Byram. Just plays it back into the path of Cooper. So Leeds keep possession. Going backwards now, trying to go forwards again with Strauch. Played through the middle for Pirro. Pirro trying to work it wide. Shackleton's going to have to race to get to this. He's not getting there. Is he getting a corner? Yes, he is. Final touch off a defender. Leeds corner kick. Now, who's going to take this one? Well,
Anthony, I think, left foot.
Yeah, Jaden Anthony's going across to take it.
You think something's going to happen here, don't you? 87th minute.
Yeah. To have any
hope,
chance of that big comeback. So, corner is with Anthony. Strauch's up there. As it's curled in, heads go up, still alive. Strauch was in there again and swung at that one from a good position. Still there for Leeds. Byram trying to get it back to Gray, and a foot in from Fraser. Gets the ball out the box. They're all still in there as Jorginho goes to the corner flag. Jorginho cuts inside the first challenge into the penalty area, curls it goalwards, and the keeper pushes it behind from the near post. Bodies galore waiting in the middle. Jorginho went for the shot. Keeper saved it.
It's fantastic work from Jorginho, though, to get past the Southampton player on that left-hand side and then drifts in. Couldn't quite pick someone out. Goes for the goal instead. Comfortable save.
2.5 to go. Corner comes in again, headed clear, and a long way clear this time. So Leeds have to retreat a little to take the throw in that results. And Shackleton races to get the ball back in his hands, and then it's taken short back to Stevens. Most of the blue shirts stay forward though. Shackleton has it on that far side. Now Stevens on the halfway line to Pascal Strauch. Byram, look at the space for Byram. Instead they're still playing in the centre circle. Lead through the middle for Ampadu. Back to Cooper. Back to Gray. Halfway line. Patient from Leeds, and they've worked it to Jorginho's come in field. Jorginho fouled. Leeds free kick midway inside the Southampton. Jorginho pushes at his opponent, Che Adams. Needs to walk away, does that. And Leeds have to think about what they can do with this free kick. It's a long way from the goal, but it's inside, very much inside the penalty area. 90 seconds of normal time remaining. Stevens curls it into the penalty area. Strauch wins the header. Pirot's underneath it. Almost came down for Bamford. Bamford couldn't get there. It's hooked clear of the penalty area to Shackleton. Plays it back on to Byram. Byram tees it up for Strauch. Infield to Gray. Gray to Stevens on the edge, to Anthony rather, on the edge of the...
Stevens guy?
I don't know what's
I've no
gone.
idea. I thought I've got 12 players.
Yeah. Strauch to Byram. Into the penalty area to Shackleton. Shackleton, oh, he cuts it back. And Strauch puts it into the middle. Oh, and it spins off the knee there of Byram and is cleared into touch for a Leeds United throw-in.
Just needs to bounce right for us, doesn't it? We're certainly getting the ball into good areas, and Southampton very lucky hacking it forward or just nicking off and making it difficult for us.
Anthony has the ball midway inside the Southampton half. He's come back to Ampadu. We're in the last minute. Well into it. Now Ampadu played the ball into Byram, who's offside. That's why he was probably, as it's put into the back of the net by Bamford, Byram had just gone beyond the last man. And as soon as he picked the ball up, the flag was raised.
Really shouldn't be offside as well, because you're looking all across the line for the position that Byram got himself into. But now this is the 90th minute, just waiting for the board to go up.
Well, let's hope it's got 10 on it. I don't think it will have.
No.
Let me tell you that much, because it's moved quite quickly this second half, apart from the sort. I think it's 5.
5 at a push.
Yeah,
Okay,
5 it is.
that.
So 5 more minutes between Leeds and the second defeat of the season. Cooper's header goes out of play for a Southampton throw-in. Needless to say, they're in zero hurry to try and take this one. Walker-Peters wipes moisture off the ball. And then throws it infield to Adams, whose pass is misplaced, and it goes straight into touch for a Leeds throw-in. Daniel Farker is there to just throw it into the hands of Byram. Tells him to go back with it, which he does, to Cooper. Cooper across the back. Now Shackleton down that far side to Jorginho. Jorginho curls it into the penalty area. Bamford was waiting, but he didn't get there. Didn't get to him. Headed clear. Jorginho again. Still going Jorginho, trying to get himself somehow to the byline. Goes down, referee looks at it and just awards a goal kick. And Jorginho's worked hard, in fairness, throughout. Just couldn't find his way through there.
No, he has. And in fits and starts, he's played well, but the problem is we gave the opposition a 3-goal head start before we suddenly woke up. And okay, the rest of the game we're 1-0 up, but it's a bit late for all that.
Yeah, it's the frustration, I'm sure we'll hear after the game from Daniel Farker, will be that they could have put the second half performance in right from the off, then we may have had a very dramatically different outcome in this one. Still a little time left for Leeds, but not an awful lot, it has to be said now, and there's still a long way to go to get close to Southampton in this one. Leeds win it back through Strauch. Strauch strides forward, goes wide to Shackleton. The other thing you would say is that before the season started, I would have said that Southampton, Leicester, obviously we're going to be right up there through the course of the season. It's harder to tell with Leeds with all the rebuilding required. As Anthony puts one into touch behind Byram. But Southampton, having had a good start, slipped up, but you still feel that there is enough quality in the squad that they've got for them to be right up there come the end of the season.
Yes, and certainly I think looking at this game, once we kind of woke up, I think we've played a lot better and looked better than them. But saying that, they've already got that 3-0 lead, so they certainly sat back and don't need to keep pushing as they did. But I think what's clear and what this has taught us is, every single team you play against, you have to respect to the utmost, be prepared, and anything can happen. And we've certainly come unstuck, haven't we, in that first half hour or so of the game?
For sure. 2 minutes remaining, unless. Long ball, Cooper, Bamford, edge of the penalty area. Handball, I think, against Patrick Bamford there as he tried to control the ball. And goes behind anyway for a goal kick. And Southampton know that they're almost back on track in this game. And the fans respond for almost the first time, to be honest, all afternoon, with a rousing chorus of "When the Saints Go Marching In."
Well, I think they're like us, that a 2-goal lead with a minute and a half, they're still not quite sure. But it does look like that the home side are home and hosed, unfortunately.
Yeah. Cooper's defensive header into the centre circle. Gets a second go at it. Short ball played to Byram. Byram on to Anthony. Controls it. Skips inside 2 challenges. And then a third, but that takes him back into his own half. Now Strauch. Wide it goes to Shackleton. Further forward it goes to Jorginho. And back to Shackleton. Plays it through the gap for Anthony on the byline. Leeds will have a corner kick in the final minute here.
Good play from Anthony. Worked it well out to that right-hand side himself. And when he got it into the channel, made a good run. Trying to get the cross in for Pirot and Bamford, who we've got 2 up top now, but once again giving them no service, have we?
Nope. Maybe this is the last opportunity to provide that service. Anthony's corner kick in, heads go up in the middle. Fraser hooks it away for Southampton. That's all they need to do, and it rolls out of play over on almost on the halfway line. So Leeds start a long way back as it goes back to Meslier. Last few seconds of the game now. Whistles from the home supporters here. Cooper into Ampadu, and the referee signals the end of the game, and Leeds United have fallen to a season's second defeat in the league. And it's come because for the first half an hour or so of this game, it was all Southampton. Leeds couldn't cope. Much better second half performance from Leeds United, got a goal back, but the damage had already been done. So a long trip back to West Yorkshire with much to reflect on here. It's been a disappointing afternoon on the South Coast. It's finished. Southampton 3, Leeds United 1.
Yeah, certainly disappointing. The start of the game is really what put us behind the 8 ball. Southampton, their tails up. We did not keep that clean sheet. We did not see the first part of the game through very well at all. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And we can look at some refereeing decisions, which, yes, certainly went against us, but, we deserved to be behind. We woke up latterly in the first half, and then certainly in the second half, we looked better, got that goal back, but once you're 3-0 down, you're always up against it. Unfortunately, we have only ourselves to blame, but we live to fight another day. 2 home games coming up. I would suggest they are rather large now on the horizon.
Definitely. So the Leeds fans now heading towards the exits. It will be a miserable long trip back for many, but they'll all be back again for the next one, for the next 2 home games, with hope in the heart. It's been an afternoon that has not gone the way that Leeds United had hoped by any stretch of the imagination. So Leeds have got to bounce back and bounce back quickly. It's finished here. Southampton 3, Leeds United 1.